Alright, welcome back to Planet Crafter. So we've done a fair whack. Well, not a massive amount to the last one. Haven't really expanded this out too much. As you can see, we've still got all these boxes. I'm probably going to need more, but that can wait for the time being. We've got a couple of ore miners over there, and we now have the gas extractor, which is producing oxygen and methane. It'll also produce nitrogen as well, but don't really need that as well. I think I said hydrogen previously, but no, that's not right. Built this sucker here. Let's go back inside so we can have a look. So this, if we look in our tech tree, is the T2 biodome. So we needed some fertilizer, some bacteria samples. Both of those are made in the biolab. But as you can see, that is pumping up the O2 quite considerably more. It does use a lot of energy, but we've been a bit busy expanding out our power supply as well. So also, whilst this is working, it produces tree bark. The tree bark is useful for some rockets and a couple of other things. In general, I think it's mainly rockets, but I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. And as you can see, we found a rocket engine and some fertilizer and some mutagen, which is no use to us currently. But hey, well, that'll be okay. Oh, and also some T2 fertilizer. Interesting, eh? We'll explore all that later. And as you can see in here, still the same old things that you can make. You can end up producing more in here. You just require more tech. And the tech is where we're at. And as you can see though, look at that, 1.37 GTI. Getting better, getting much better. Put some rockets up, really expanding the pressure. And the heat is getting a lot better. The expanding the pressure due to these two guys over here. And they are the tier 4 drills. Now, as you can see, they're quite expensive indeed. I did have to make some super alloy for that, but that is not going to be an issue now because, well, I'll show you in a tick. But you need a bit of osmium, and obviously, as you can see, you need some super alloy. And they producing 367 pressure, whereas that's 13. Absolutely massively different. Now, as I've said before, I did screw up thinking these were 8. The tier 2 does 8, yes, but the tier 1 only does 5 machines. But that will actually optimize. If we look in that, it's a pressure multiplier, 500% pressure multiplier, which is why that thing is going Burko over there. But what we can do is, because in here we still have another pressure multiplier, we've got a heat multiplier, we've got a couple of more of the warden's keys, and zeolite is starting to raise its ugly head, but we're going to deal with that today. And I put down the tier 2 ore miner. It's not called an ore miner, it's called the ore extractor. And over in the zeolite cave, the super alloy cave, which is over that way, past the iridium cave, and I got a whole pile more of this. Now, what we need to do is we're going to pin this sucker. We don't actually need any of the super alloys yet, but we are going to need some explosive powder. So, what we're going to need is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to need iridium. Actually, I should have just grabbed the uranium rod out of there as well. And now we're also going to need 2 iron and some cobalt. I have to pick up some more iron. I'm starting to run a little low. That's what happens when you do all of this building, eh? So we're going to need 2 of these suckers. I could have sworn I clicked 4 times on the sulfur. I don't know. Obviously I didn't, but I could have sworn I did. Alright, maybe I'm just going senile. So what we're going to do is, it's not really going to help us having it elsewhere, but if I can dump that in between here, and I can, let's open that up. Now, just to remind ourselves, We are currently producing 19,670. So there can be a 500% increase in all of these. So now I'm going to have 42,000. Sweet! That's going to start going up a lot more. The PPQs are going up slowly. But we're going to need to get tree. We can see it in here. If we go into, as you can see, you've got these two guys here. This is your overall terraformation with the O2 heat and pressure, but we've also got the biomass updates in here as well. And as you go through, you get to things like the tier spread. It doesn't actually tell you what it does, but these tree spreaders do produce a fair whack of O2 as well as plant and biomass. So that's really helpful for bringing that up. As you can see, eventually we'll be getting insects, and then eventually after that we'll be getting animals. But we need more plants. There's nothing in here really that we can do about that just yet, unless I build a bucket load more of those. But we also now have the, in fact, let's bring that down a bit, the tier 2 algae generators. Now these guys produce, let's run over to that box there. Nope, not that box there, that box there. They produce algae, and algae is used in the biodome over there, or the biolab, to produce a whole pile of stuff. So that being the case, since we can build those, let's double check those again. And as you can see, we require 101 oxygen and 0.64 plants. Using 15 energy, got double the energy, but 18 plants, so that's going to power that up severely, and 280 O2. It's not as much oxygen as the increase in the plants, but it's definitely going to help us out in the long run. Now, to make bioplastic, on the other hand, as you can see, it's a bit of a mission getting all around this. We need mushrooms. So I'm going to have to build another, I don't know whether it's a 4-room is going to be enough at the moment, but we're going to need more room to plop down some of these and get some mushrooms growing. Now, we did leave a lot of mushroom seeds lying around. We've got 2 currently, but we're going to want more than that. And I did leave some lying around, so I'm going to go for a run around right now, and I'm going to grab as many of those as possible, and I'm probably going to stick probably in the middle here. Now, remembering, if we look at the, where's it gone? There it is, the food grower, 18 energy per second. And we currently have got 923 kilowatts spare, so we can produce a fair whack of those. One thing did come up, the microchip map, but it requires aluminium and obsidian. Now, remember in a earlier episode, we went, if we look at the map screen, that's right, I can't use the mouse to go over this way. We went not to that one, to this one over here. Well, there's a whole pile of obsidian in amongst here, and there's this big sucker here too. So we're going to have to get a good peek through that at some point. Sounds like there's more meteors coming. Yeah, look at them all. Pounding everything. But don't need to worry about that just yet. Oh, and by the way, if you want the thing, you put down these guys, and as you can see, these grow the algae, which you need for the biolab to produce stuff with. My water's looking a bit light. Let's slurp some water. Come on. And back out we go. And let's go dump this in here. And then I am going to get some stuff together, and I'm going to go around to those boxes that we had that I just basically left, the ones that we opened in that there was one in the valley with the sand waterfall, I suppose, is the best way that I can describe it. That was in a bit of an arc. It was going all the way across here. And so we'll need some of that. And also, we're going to run out back over that way. Actually, we can get through from up there, if I remember rightly. And then, look, find some obsidian. So, leave that with me, and we'll go do some grinding. Okay, back from a bit of wandering. Let's... I know I need them. I like this open space, but I need the room. I don't need that room. I've got to put some food generation in here, because I do need all the shrooms. I want shrooms, not magic shrooms, unfortunately, because I'm going to have to stay a little bit, well, straight, I guess you could say. And I've also, and if you're looking carefully, you can see another fuse. So let's get those going. Yeah, O2 generation. I found, I was rummaging around in boxes. I thought I'd already opened this one, but I found that. Oxygen multiplier fuse. Insert this into an optimizer to boost the performance of nearby machines, and its oxygen multiplier 500%. Now we've got those veggie tubes outside. Actually, I'm going to need a couple more iron. Look at this. I'm starting to run low on iron. It's surprising, even with those suckers. I might even have to build another one. So we've got these over here. Now, if you recall, they only affect 5 of these suckers. I don't want those two being anything part of it. So what I'm going to try and do is, can I build one of these suckers here and have that only affect... Oh, yes, it is. So it's only affects... I want it to only affect the 600. So if we come back in here, I remember it's about 2,000. Oh, no, it wasn't. It's only 2,000. Let's take that out again. Sorry, let's come down here. 2,277. Right, let's go back and stick it back in again. It's not a massive amount, but hey, any increase is better than none. 2,500 PPQs. I don't know what it is they get me going about. PPQs. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But if you'll notice, I mean, look at this. We've now got flora. We're 75% towards getting trees. I swear to God, I think they've changed something in this game. And everything is going so much bleeding faster. And if we look around, I mean, these were the things I put down, the grass spreaders. But look at all this. This is all stuff that I haven't planted. And it's all growing. Yeehaw. Not over there. That is still a desert. A rather stormy desert of that. And back here, if we come back a bit further, all of that area, as you can see in the distance over there, where the waterfalls are, is getting a lot greener. Now, we have currently been... Come on. To that... The place down that away. Was it that away? I think it was that away. I could be mistaken, but and then we went and opened the area that is inside the zeolite cave. Zeolite, no, the super alloy cave, and had a look at this. The warden story, I think, is the best way to describe it. The warden's story. But if I remember rightly, we did see another set of coordinates. And we do have these here. Oh, but I also found some more. So I'm going to have to put some more rockets up. And get a load more heat coming in. We're doing relatively okay on pressure, so that's not too bad. And we are going to need to clear that out every now and again. Yeah, let's stick you in here. As you can see, like I said, I'm going to have to get a lot more of those suckers. So, oh, actually, by the way, while we're at it, we do need iron. Let's unload all of this and hope like heck that there's enough iron to do what I want to do. because I do want to go on a bit of a wander right now. Let me just double check the coordinates. Remember rightly, I did take a print. I did do a print screen of, or took a screenshot of what it was. So give me a moment. I'm going to go check those coordinates. Okay, so the coordinates we require are 1565 and 2500. Now, obviously, that is X, Y, and Z. I haven't put the Y thing in there. But what we're going to need to make life easier, so we see exactly what direction we're heading in, we need a compass. Thankfully, we've unlocked the compass, which is just up here. And that will allow us, once we fit that sucker over here, and you look at the top there, that will give us exactly what direction we need to go to change everything. And if we go towards the N, you'll notice that the 781 is going up, well, the bottom left, the X coordinate is going up a lot more. So it'll make it a lot easier to actually find what we're looking for. I don't think we really need to take that much with us, but let's grab a bit more food. See how much food we got. I only got 2 food. We might be a while there, and I don't think there's much there that I'm going to need to pick up, but I did bring enough for a box anyway, so at least we've got that going on. So we need to get to 2500. So let's, 1565. Aha! When you look at that, there's another one of those plinths. Now, if we look at that, we require 3. One thing about this game is that it does lead you by the nose a little bit, so, but that's not too much of a problem, is it? So let's stick these in here. And now the wall is falling. I suppose the best way to, I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. It kind of makes you wonder when you think about it, doesn't it? I mean, why were they running from humanity? Well, let's put a box down here so at least we can get rid of this stuff and then get some O2, and then we can go for a bit of an explore. But we do have a bit of a tendency to prod our neighbours, don't we? It's been happening ever since we started. Right, let's go and have a look. So I don't know if I can blame them. I don't know what happened, obviously, with the wardens. But yeah, they definitely wanted to get away from us. Check it out. Now, I'm assuming, yeah, the jetpack just died. Let's wander through here. And what are we going to find? Oh, there's a bridge over the water over there. Not exactly sure why. Ooh. There's a bridge over... I'm assuming then I should have come along there and across here. Well, you know what they say about assumptions, though. Let's just run through the water, shall we? Ooh-wee. Look at this. And there are multiple places to explore. Multiple things to find. But if we... And still these stairs have a bit of an issue. Where you have to jump up to get to anywhere. Open. Now we need 5. So we've got to do a bit of exploration around here. Once we lived. It's a bit sad. Once they lived. So, where are we going to go first? I reckon let's start from... Well, we normally start at the left and go to the right, so let's do, when we're exploring. So let's do that, shall we? Aha! There's one. 4 more to go. All that just to get this one. Actually, what I am going to do is I am going to pop back. I'm going to go grab, as you can see, I've got enough here to build a fabricator. And I'm going to pop back and I'm going to get a bucket load of cobalt so we can make some more O2 canisters. Alright, so back. We've been over this way and we've got one of the things that we need. But if you'll notice, there's a few more bits and pieces around here that we can have a look at. Again, I wish they'd have sorted out the jank that goes along with some of these stair pieces. And we're going to have a wander around here and see what we can find. I'm probably going to need to go back and get maybe even more O2, but that will become... We'll do that if it becomes necessary. Okay, there's another way up here. Ah, there's another one. So let's grab that. 2 down, 3 to go. And there's another quick way up. Can't remember. I don't exactly remember where all of these are. So you'll have to bear with me because there'll be a bit of running around, methinks. And up we go. Alright, we are now on a different level. Nothing through there that I can see. Well, there's no water. Oh no, there is a bit of water up there. Look at this. There's a tree we can climb. And here we have number 3. So the question is, what are we going to find when we get to number 5? And no, number 5 is not alive. I don't know if anybody gets that reference or not, but hey, well, if you do, let me know. Okay, got another one. So that means we now need to find one more. Where's that last one? Oh, I'm buggered if I know, to be perfectly honest. I don't remember. So, after all that running around, it turns out it was right behind me. I've already grabbed it, and then I also went in and opened the thing, and when I got back to my box outside, I realized that I hadn't been recording. So, as you can see, look at them, all 5 of them there, nicely turning away. And in here are a couple of golden boxes. And inside the golden boxes is all of this stuff. Actually, there's a bit more than that, but I've emptied them out, and at some point I'm going to come back and break these down. But if we look at this, once again, a calamity befalls our people. If the predictions are correct, a meteor will hit the planet in just a few days. The cities we built, the splendors we created will fall. Our arts, traditions, discoveries and lives will vanish. Once again, destruction is upon us, but this time we will not flee, as we did generations ago. What is the point of running away when demise chases you so vigorously? We accept our fate. We are proud of what we were, and remain true to our values. Our story will disappear under the ashes of flames and dust. Like a butterfly, life, beautiful and evanescent, it's time to meet our end. I'm not sure I could be that fatalistic, about your entire species. I'm pretty sure that, I'm pretty sure humanity would fight tooth and goddamn nail not for that to actually happen, but these guys, they gave up. I suppose it's sad. I don't understand it, because like I say, I think, like myself, humanity would fight tooth and goddamn nail not to actually die. But it doesn't appear that these guys would have agreed with that sentiment. But that is the end of the Warden's story. It's a little short. I would have liked to have seen a bit more involved. But, yeah, very, very sad. Hydration level is low. We do have some water on us. But what we're going to do, as you can see the conning tower we can actually get to, just over there. Alright, so we're back. Now you'll notice in the bottom left by my O2 indicator there's that thing that says minus 2.3 per second. And that is because when we came back I built the air filter. That popped up on the way back so we can make sure that we'll last a little bit longer out there. Really am going to need a tier 3 exoskeleton at some point to expand this out because there are more things that we're probably going to want to have. But what I've done, as you can see, I've put a whole pile of stuff in here that is going to allow me to increase the heat. Now I've got one rocket left, because currently I'm not exactly sure how well this is going to end, how much, damn it, I was hoping to be able to click that. This is going to up the heat generation. I may end up doing 3 of these and do another one of those afterwards, but let us do this. Now watch this, this is a weird thing. All 3 of them trying to get out of here at once. So let's come back here and watch this mess. You kind of would have thought they would have put the thing down and say, no, you can't put the 3 down at once. You're still going to get the asteroids popping down, but that's just kind of bizarre. So let's go and have a look. So we are now at 67,000 picokelvins. I'm assuming it's picokelvins. Going up. So the heat is generally going up, and that is going to increase our GTI number. So we are now at this tree stage. We're going that, and we're going to get insects that sign around. You get these little grubs that turn up all over the place. And as you can see, we're still waiting on the O2 to get the tier 4 heaters, and that will speed everything up. The reason why the pressure is going up a lot more is because I've got those suckers over there. And to be perfectly honest, what I should do is take down those 3 and put some more of those down. Then that will up the pressure multiplier even more. To make those, if we remind ourselves, we need super alloy and osmium. Now, we do have super alloy being mined over in the super alloy cave over that away, but we've got enough to make a couple of more. But we're going to be missing the osmium. So if we look in here, got enough for 1, 2, 3. We've actually got enough for 3 more, so I think I'm actually going to do that. So we've got plenty of super alloy now. So let's go rip these 3 suckers down. And let's dump this stuff off. Yeah, we're going to be full on titanium. Aluminium. Sweet. And let's just dump this in here. So that means we're going to need 18 super alloy. So we've got what, 4? Should be 18. Actually, no, we've got 19. Oh no, that's 3. So that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And, well, wrong box. Give me all of the osmium. And what we're also going to have to do is go get some more osmium, because I'm going to want to build some more of those miners. Now those things do have a pretty sizable radius, so you don't have to be too close. Now that we've done that, go and have a look. 278,000. So that's pumping up massively. So as soon as we get these guys up to tier 4 rather than being tier 3, we do have another heat multiplier fuse. We can pump that up so it's absolutely massive. Now, like I said, we're going to want more osmium, and we're also going to want a few other odds and sods, but we need more osmium. So I'm going to go and I'm going to grab a whole as much osmium as I can get my mitts on, so we can make some more T2 ore extractors. And the T2 ore extractors are mainly going to be in the osmium cave and also in the super alloy cave, because we need those to make super alloy rods. And in case you're wondering, to make one of those super alloy rods, we need 8 super alloy and 1 aluminium. Now we're doing okay on aluminium at the moment, and I do know where there's a load more aluminium, but we want to get those up and running so they're getting more as well. Okay, so we're in the osmium cave just north of the sulfur area, and we're going to put down a couple of osmium, well, we're going to put down a couple of ore extractors for the osmium deposits here, because we're going to want a fair whack of this stuff over a period of time. Doesn't have enough. I wanted to put another one over at the zeolite. Keep calling it zeolite. It's not zeolite, the super alloy one. And we're just going to run over that way now and pick up some more super alloy, because we are completely and utterly out. And then we're going to build another one once we've got some more osmium over in that cave. And we're going to, so we'll have 2 super alloys, 2 osmium. We will need to obviously do more, and these are going to get replaced in the long run with the tier 3 one, so we can just target absolutely every single thing that we want. So eventually we'll be just producing materials constantly. Constantly. It's going to be fantastic. Won't have to worry about it. Now, there was something else that popped up. Actually, give me all of that, because I do need iron. I am so running out of iron. It's crazy, eh? Have a bit more in there. Don't really want that. Oh, there's another one, so we can fill up on that. And that will give us enough to produce another super alloy rod, so we can put another one back in that cave. Alright, so we're back here. What we're going to do is put down our second T2 ore extractor. Dump it so it's right next door to that. And see, we're already getting more in. Actually, let's just take all of that. Now, if you remember rightly, don't really need that. Oh look, we found some common lava. Well, that's pretty cool. That means that insects are now actually starting to grow, which will up our bio TI, I suppose you could call it. And that's going to start increasing all of this one, because these things are actually starting to get there. You will need these. You need to run around, pick a whole pile of these. There's common, there's rare, and uncommon, I think the other one is. And you'll need all 3 at certain points. But, now, if you remember rightly, a few episodes ago, quite a few, I said you could get up to that. And if you'll notice, I said you'll actually have trees and stuff like that growing to be able to get up there. And you'll notice there's that tree running up there. Now that means that we can now get to that. All we've got to do is get on top of this bit here, which thankfully with a jetpack is relatively simple. And we can climb up into here. And there's not a massive amount in here, at least not up top at least anyway. There are no screens where you can read any info, but if we come down here and stop faffing around, now you'll notice all these. You can't get rid of these, but there is this, which doesn't have a great deal, to be perfectly honest, in there, but I'm going to steal it all. So you can break that down and get some more iron, because like I said, even with the things that we've got, we're starting to run out of iron again. So what we may have to do is stick down a load more extractors over there so we can up our iron game. Now, there was something else that popped up. We should have enough O2. Yeah, we've got enough O2 to deal with this. Auto crafters. Auto crafts a chosen recipe if the ingredients are found within a certain range, either in storage or directly in the world. So you can stick these in amongst all of your boxes, and you can get it to automatically craft whatever you want. Well, at least whatever you've got the recipe for anyway. That is going to wait a while because it's not really helpful right now. But also, another point, and if you remember correctly, and I previous episode, if I remember rightly, no, it's definitely not been this episode, we went down and started off the little warden quest, and there were those things that I pointed out where there were kind of boxes all over the place that were broken, and there was also some solar panels that were broken, but there is something we can go exploring in that, so we're going to go explore. So let me get rid of all of this, get some supplies, and then we can go and have a look at that. And I brought enough to build a box, and I brought an absolute massive load of water with me as well, because I know it's going to be a while before we get back. But you cannot use any of these boxes, you can't break them down or anything. But let's just build a quick box. Get our butts inside here. Build a storage locker, and let us put everything in that we don't really want right now, at least not on us. We're going to take a bit of O2, probably get away with not worrying about the rest of the food or the water, but let's grab, for food, but let's grab one water at least anyway, because we're going to need that, because if we look there, look at this. Now, as we go rummaging through here, some aluminium, which we will need. You can't break these down, unfortunately, but we are going to need to break the doors down. And this is one of the reasons why we're going to need to go back and store a load of stuff, because we're going to be breaking down. We'll have a lot of iron by the time we finish this. So let's have a read of what this has got to say. And look at that, year 3055. It's been harder than expected. The outside is toxic and the seeds won't really grow underground. According to my calculations, the planet will be in a better position for terraforming in around 2 years. I just have to survive until then. So it sounds like there was another convict sent here. Ziodan. Or Xiaodan. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce that. And again, we have to go down, but look at these. Be nice to be able to break those down, but we can't. Can't break that down. A Lerma seed. Another message. And where am I supposed to find more iridium on this planet? I've looked everywhere without success, and there's ice all over. It's critical I find some to start heating the planet, and everything outside is freezing. I need to sleep, but I can't stop thinking. Tomorrow will be better. Such a sentence for something so small as inhumane. I don't deserve this. And there's a few nice things in here. So what we'll do is we'll strip all that dry. And as you can see, there's another way down, but there was something else over here as well. And there are 2 ways down. So, because that obviously is leading up. Let's go left first like we normally do. Actually, no, that's an up. It's another set of boxes. Ooh-wee. Not bothered about the seeds. Pressure multiplier fuse we'll definitely want. And there's another heat multiplier fuse as well. So, let's grab that. We'll go back to our box. And what we'll do... But here, come on, can we make it before we run out of O2? I think we can. Right, so we're going to need the iron, so let's not dump that away, because we're going to need to create some more boxes. Or lockers. I should call them lockers, shouldn't I? Come on. Get into place. And more more stuff. Actually, no, we want to go left first, don't we? And let's finish emptying these out. I'm not going to worry about these seeds for now. I'll come back and I'll pick those all up on a later point. Right, down we go again. And here's where we're going to get all the iron that we're looking for. Because there's all these doors we need to break down. Welcome to your assigned planet. Your mission is to advance the terraformation of this world. You'll need to generate O2, heat and pressure. So Zirdan, I'm assuming this, yes, 3055, so this is for Zirdan. So he has obviously gone a bit miffed at all of this. And here we go. And there's a lot of these things posted. You think he was a little bit annoyed? I think he might have been. And there is no body, so I don't know if he survived to get out of here. Probably not. Right, let's get back to the surface, since we can't do anything about those as yet. Now, there was something. I'll show you in a second. Oops, where's my box gone? There it is. That we needed. Tell me about all the iron we're about to get our mitts on. We do need Lermacy, so I'm going to keep that for the time being. Can I see it in here? That's the only question. I don't think I can see it in here. I need to see it. Give me one of those. Now, I did see a whole parcel of silicon around. There's one. And let's build a fabricator. Well, they call it a crafting station. I can't even call them fabricators. And there's things like this guy here. We're going to need more of the osmium, which is probably going to go towards making some more extractors first. Now, where was that sucker? Here we go, microchip map, which allows us to have just press M and have a map wherever we go. Now, obsidian, as you can imagine, is in the lava area. And guess what we saw? Back that way, but I think we can go round the side. No, that's going to take us on a long-winded way of getting there. So let's go this way first. And we're going to go grab some obsidian. We don't need much, because we want to carry a lot of that stuff back. Look at that. There is another wreck up here. And that is a big, big wreck. But if we come over... Oh, not there yet. This way. There are more boxes over here. There are boxes everywhere around here as well. So there's going to be a lot of not only exploration, but grabbing stuff as well. Oh, and there's another thing there. Oh, that's magnesium. What am I looking at that for? Aha, see. Purple shiny stuff. We only need one right now, and there's a load more over here. We are going to need an absolute bucket load of this later, but we don't need it now, so we're not going to worry about that. But we'll come back and we'll have a look at that at a later date. When we'll build a box in here as well, and then we'll go explore that, and then we'll go explore that thing as well. Alright, so I am going to grab everything from the boxes that we just made, as much as I can at least anyway, get back to our base, dump everything off, and then I think we might end it at that point. We'll see how long we've been recording for, and then if we can go for longer, we'll give it a shot. If not, we'll put all that lot in the next episode, eh? Alright, so we're in the volcanic area again. There's the big ship over there. And the ladder is just over there. Considering it's going to take a bit while for the big ship, let's do the ladder now. And then we'll start the big ship in the next episode. So let's get our butts over here and have a look at what's down here. We're going to need some light. We'll leave that stuff there for the time being and we'll get it on the way out. Okay, so look, all this and some zeolite as well. Let's grab all of these. 150? Yeah. We'll be able to use it later, but right now, let's not bother with that, shall we? Ah, damn it. I was hoping to have enough room to leave all of that in there. Maybe not. Okay. So there's another way down there. Look at that. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? He's underneath the lava. This new place is a bit warmer than my last camp, but I'm still extremely cold. It's been 2 days since I ran out of food. I miss my family. I'm so lonely. I've lost hope. Well, I lost all hope. I will have to move out soon. I'm terrified of going outside again. It's so dark and so cold. Wow, Jardin, you did not have a good time in here, did you? And there we have... I could have sworn I was going to be able to pick those up. Maybe not. Alright, let's go down again. Yeah, I really desperately need the tier 2 thing, don't I? But now I'm a captive, bodily in irons in a dungeon, and mentally imprisoned in one idea, one horrible, one hideous, one unconquerable idea. I have only one thought, one conviction, one certitude, condemned to death. Well, he's not in a great mindset, is he? Ooh, look, we've got more stuffs. Plant multiplier fuses now as well. So let's get what we want. Or we get our mitts on everything that we can get our mitts on, at least anyway. And that, unfortunately, is probably Theodan's death pit. Let's grab a bit of O2. Now, there was something, I think I've missed something. No, I'm dumped in the wrong place. There was something else. There's another one of these guys somewhere where it goes a lot further down. I thought this was it. So I thought it was going to take a little bit longer to rummage through here. So, nothing in there that really want. Nothing over there. Let's, in that case, grab everything out of that. And let's run back to our little box and dump all this stuff out. Well, since that only took a second, there is another one where you go around and all over the darn place, and I thought that was it, but obviously I was wrong. Actually, I will grab all of those, because what we're going to do is make another box, colloquially known as a locker. And let's have a quick peek then. Now, unless anything has changed, there's bugger all in any of this. So you've got to stop. You can't even move further than that. And to get into here, you have to get a little bit... Actually, before we do that, no. Let's grab some water. Let's grab another bit of O2, or at least maybe even 2 O2s. And actually, I didn't check that box, did I? I don't think so. Let's see what's in here. Yeah, let's grab all of that. And let's dump all of that in there. Ooh ho ho! Nuclear fusion generator. That's definitely gonna be useful. We probably won't need any food straight away, but I'll take one with me just in case. So let's have a look at that. Now, remembering, these are currently giving us 331.5 per second. That's pretty damn good. It only requires one super alloy, but it does require a load of uranium rods, explosive powders, and stuff. These guys, 1485. But look, it requires 4 super alloy and 5 of the pulsar quartz. Now, remembering that on the way back through that hole through there, as you go through, there is still some of the pulsar quartz there, and there's those caves at the back which have pulsar quartz as well, so we'll be able to build those things, and that means that we will be able to recover at least some explosive powders and super alloy from those things, from deconstructing these guys. And they take up a lot less room as well, which means that our little you can't, what do you call it? You can't really call it a pier or a jetty. The construction that we've got going over the water, we can put those in and save a massive amount of space. But before we go, I am going to need to slurp down. I did, as you can see, I brought a massive amount of water. And let's fill up on the food now, and let's go and have a look in here. Again, there is a fusion generator in here which you require to put that cell in, but we don't have the recipe for that as yet, so there's nothing we can do about that. We need all of that, so let's grab those, and this is going to mean I have got a lot, and I do mean a lot, of ferrying to do at the end of this episode. Nothing through there. Let's grab those. And that's that hole that we were just looking at through there, but there is another box here. And look at all of this gear that we're going to be using. Nothing through there as yet, but there is another hole through here. But we're not going up just yet. And we're going to want all of that. Alright, well, we're back here. Let's break that down. More computer banks to be broken down. Oh, actually, no, those ones aren't, are they? Yeah, we do want all of that. So that leads you into that area there. So let's not worry about that. Another one of those round doors that could open. Leave that open. Pick up the rocket engine, because putting up some new rockets into space is definitely going to be useful. Okay, so let us go this way first. Holy moly, there's just so much stuff in here that is useful. And stuff that I don't really want right now. Okay, we're back, so let's go and have a look upstairs, shall we? Yep, there we go. Check it out. Methane cartridge. I've got enough methane cartridges that I don't know what to do with at the moment, so we're not going to worry about that. Now, is that... Let's check on this. Is this a completely different place? It is indeed. So, no it isn't. We're back here again. Remember that thing there? So there's more than one way of getting up to that, obviously, that box. That one should be empty. So let's get rid of that. Let's go back up here. Yeah, I really want that darn thing, don't I? That chip allows me to break those down, but I don't need those yet, so there's no point in worrying about it right now. Okay, what do we got here? Tree seeds. We haven't had that before. Might as well grab the food because it's always going to come in handy. We see anything through there? There might be, but I can't really see too much. And out of here, and let's go left again. Shanga seed. What is the Shanga seed? It's just a plant, isn't it? Darn, I didn't really want that, but never mind. And apart from, that does appear to be absolutely everything, doesn't it? Because that's where we came up and then originally came into here. So, we're going to require a bit more exploration later on when we've got the ability to put... Now let's just double check something. How much do we need? So we need 2 fusion cells. And there's nothing else in here that we actually need or honestly want. Come on, get back through that damn door again. And let's go back through this one because this is the closest to our exit. Anything else that we can see? Nope. There wasn't anything in there that I needed, wanted, / care for. I got to be honest with you, it's a bit of a pain when they're not on the flat and you're trying to walk along. It throws you off. So let's have a look at what we've got out of there, shall we? Obviously, there's still a bit left from that as well. Not a massive amount, but we've got... let's slurp down some water. Definitely want that. Don't care about that. Definitely want the golden seed. We want the tree seed. I'm going to leave all of the water and everything here because that's definitely going to be useful at a later date. And what little food we've got left there as well. Plant multiplier fuse. That's going to be helpful. Growing stuff. Plants, obviously. That's a lot there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Is we're going to leave it here because I have an absolute massive amount of shuttling to do. And look at that. 3 rocket engines as well. That's going to save us on a lot of materials just to get those things built. So yeah, I'm going to do a lot of shuttling and I'll see you in the next episode. Alright, take care now.